I've noticed there's an issue with my money and spending, also because I'm just constantly healing the inner child.
That's another thing. You can stay there, and that's how I'm done. Action.
Warning: this podcast episode discusses sensitive topics, including mental health, abuse, and suicide. The content may be distressing or triggering for some listeners. If you or someone you know is struggling, please consider seeking support from a mental health professional or contacting a crisis helpline in your area. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Heart to Mic podcast. I'm your host, Chebet Ronoh. Here we celebrate the power of authentic conversations, and together we'll explore our emotions, challenges, and growth through powerful storytelling.
Action.
Kila siku tu
Healing.
For the inner child. Now we get 80,000 for the inner child. Mombasa inner child, guys. You know, like the excuses that I've seen myself making for the sake of this inner child, who I think I'm already healing in therapy. I'm like, then we need to also heal the inner child by making better financial decisions for her. You know, she deserves that. She deserves a stable life, you know, a stable financial life. So investment in me looks very different. I'm also in school as well doing marketing. But
Kumoto.
But this kumoto sana, but hey, saa zingine ni kugumu. Saa zingine you're just like,
it's just school. School is not easy.
School is not easy. So like it's whatever. Like we'll figure it out as we figure it out. But I think already we are making our positions and our names known in the industries that we're in.
Nice.
There's a version of you that I really love.
She goes crazy sometimes. I love it.
When Rono is in love.
The arrows.
Unakuwaga chini.
Attacks.
Unakuwaga chini, friend. Unakuwaga chini. Na you ni mama crazy. Another one busted.
Oh my God.
I'm usually so ready for you being in love.
No, my goodness. You know what's actually crazy?
Yeah.
Most of the relationships I had, my past relationships, I don't think I've ever been in love, bro.
But it's been looking like...
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just delusion.
Infatuation.
Yeah, when I feel like I'm in love with someone that actually like, wow, this is someone I respect and love, I'm waiting to see her. I'm waiting to see her. Because that was delusion. That was like...
last.
Yeah, last. Legit, actually.
You just want to like...
And painting the picture for what it's not. It's not that, but I just want to paint the picture for the feels, you know?
Nasa ukichukua hizo mavideo ukitupostia kwa story, ufikiriagi uko la almost 1 million followers.
I'm like, sometimes, Debbie, you're gonna screenshot. Don't you think, baby?
You're like, fuck it!
Life, we live once.
Alafu unaingia kwa live unatuonesha. But I think I have my turn my post notifications on for you.
She's the best.
Because like is live. Okay, popcorn. Let us eat this tea.
Yeah.
Because when you're in love, it's so beautiful to see. However, I think you've been in love with the wrong people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Juu watu wengine wanakuambia, hey babe, usiende live.
That's not even love, babe. I think it's just lust. It's just,
What is there like a void you're trying to fill with these people?
Exactly. Because then I was like, I don't love or respect them genuinely. So why am I here? Even in the times when I was with them, I don't love and respect myself.
And how are we dealing with that? Like the quote unquote lack of self-love? Because I think we all deserve that love. You know, that love that we think about and that we paint the picture of what that actually looks like in detail. I think we all deserve that. But we always try to, you know, make our choices right rather than making the right choices. So you find yourself finding this person, you're like, we need to make you right, Mr. Right. So I need to fix you into my story and make you work in my favor so that this picture can work. You know, paint your blue and green lazima zingiane.
And that's unfair to someone else also.
As well. Yeah.
So I feel like I had to take a step back and say, what does love even look like for me? And let's be real, not the one that Jujifanyati, buy me this. No, what does love feel like? You know?
Because it's not the bike choice.
It's not the bike. Wait. Women are building these homes. Can we let's be real?
No, the builders. To come you kunje. They're just like, no, I'll pay for you. It's all, don't worry.
I rebuke that spirit. I used to be like that, bro. Like never. I think also valuing myself, because painting that picture makes you do things
out of character,
out of just disrespecting yourself.
Desperation.
Clock it, yeah.
And are you what is the definition of love for you right now?
I know love is work. That's what I came to understand. and it takes time. It builds. As you said, you don't want to be someone who's your friend. I don't want to everything that all my relationships rush. sexual vibe. Meaning, actually, she's just that guy.
Yeah, he's my soulmate. Twin flame. Like astrology. Is Virgo compatible with Sagittarius?
Please.
Because I've done that shit before.
3 a.m. you're like compatibility. Virgo. Kubali too. You're not compatible.
Yeah.
If you have to Google.
For sure. If you have to do a test, I'm Kopabaya.
So yeah, knowing what love is and what it feels like. Yeah, and just any attention isn't love. That's another thing. I had to fix that.
I think love for me has started to look like a choice. You'll choose to love me when I'm flawful. You'll choose to love me when I'm annoyingly lazy. You'll choose to love me when I'm depressed. You'll choose to love me when I'm happy.
You choose to love me.
You'll choose to love me. And me will change. And the days that you will actually be my biggest fan in regards to like the version of me that I presented to you. And there are times that you will not be happy with it, but you will still choose me regardless. It's like a mother's love.
Unconditional.
Yeah. It's like genuinely the way our mothers love us. Zile za tumechoma zetu zote lakini wako tu like you're
by
my child.
Our side.
Yeah. I think that's the type of love I know I can give. And because I know I can give that, then I think I deserve that in return.
Wow.
Because tulikuwa tunasema utakuja nyumbani. Labda umelewa, God forbid, I don't want a drunkard husband, but something has happened at work, you're upset, and the energy and the person you portray, I want you to be able to extend the grace to me, regardless of the fact that external people, versions, things have happened at work, that you'll come at home and we'll deal with it. Why? Because we are friends. That this is your safe space. That you cannot wait to leave the chaos outside there to come here for us to get peace.
And I can understand your humanity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I can see you and I can understand where you're coming from, but I can also correct you with grace. I think that's what love is.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my God. Ume to cheer up. Took us to school.
You're stupid.
Yeah.
Would you define yourself as a confident woman right now?
Yes. But it's, like 80%. Yeah.
And what did you do to get there?
Keeping my promises. I think
that's a big one.
Keeping the promises to yourself.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
It's such a big booster of confidence. I think.
Ulisema utaenda jina ulienda. 75 Harden?
Thank you guys so much for having me on the show.
Imeenda.
When you're mefata, you receive
exactly.
I receive grace from God. I'm allowing grace.
It's in peace.
Yeah. Oh, there's something I actually wanted to clock. What is the difference between giving yourself grace and now sleeping on the job?
I think I started putting a time cap to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you can only fail too many times. There's only so much you can fail at, you know. So, for instance, when you clock a pattern with an ex or a man, umechukua there's this broke guy, great sex, you're on a clean water and bangy diet when you go to his house. Then you meet a similar, yani after copy paste friend. Like we are Chijuja. Same. If you notice that there's those similarities, 3-4 times you go to like,
yeah.
No, there's something wrong here.
Yes.
So I think once I clock it a couple of times, and I think for me it is 3. When it happens 3 times, even in a situation with relationships, if maybe I'm in a situation or like a disagreement with a friend and I find myself stepping out of character and going below the barrel, it has happened 3 times. I'm like, okay, maybe we need to have a conversation with myself. But I will extend myself grace once it is called out. For instance, if you are in differing opinions with someone and they're like, okay, maybe I didn't like the way you speak to me. They say it today. Then next week you do something else. I didn't like the way you speak to me. When they come the third time, be like, Kwani, how am I speaking to them? You know, now I change the lens to start now looking at myself because I'll extend myself grace the first 2 times, but there's also responsibility that I need to take.
Nice.
Yeah. I think that's a difference. Maybe there's a timestamp. For me, that's how it works. It works for me because I'm like, utafunzwa mara ngapi? You know, like how many times will you allow this repetition of an experience, a behavior, a person, a partner?
And it's detriment. You know, the healing part is what I don't like going through.
Sasa unafanya times two. It gets exhausting, to be honest, to have to deal with the same thing over and over again. So I'm also trying to limit the things that I'm repeating in regards to like my healing journey. And I'm like, let us figure out different things. Let me say, now I need to find out or heal or figure out how I'm dealing with employees, because now I'm an entrepreneur. Let's deal with a different kind of new problem.
A
new problem that we're facing in business, emotionally, with friends, something new.
Yes.
But not we are going back to our vomit.
No.
Not that we're undervaluing ourselves. Not the same things that we're constantly trying to deal with. You know, like how are we responding to people's opinions when they air their opinions to us? Are we fighting with people, keyboard warriors, for comment section? Or are we actually extending them peace? Or are we killing them with kindness? How are we choosing to deal with it? But we cannot be healing the same thing. Yani leo, next week. I decided to say by day. I quit.
Yeah.
Because sasa inaanza kwa sana. So I think for me that is what would determine, am I really extending myself grace or am I entertaining a bad habit?
Yeah.
Wewe unaonaje?
That was the I think also calling yourself out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, calling yourself out.
You need to have a habit of constantly have a meeting with self.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of okay, did we deal with that well? Could we have done better?
Love it.
Yeah.
Don't escape, especially if you're used to escapes.
Yeah.
This time say no liquor, no friends.
And that's why right now I feel like my life is better, because generally I'm like,
there's no escape.
Yeah.
It's just me and the problem.
That's me and the problem. So my biggest issue was like social gatherings, making myself available, especially as this new version of me. And this past weekend was a testament of that, because I went for 2 big events. I went for TMI podcast live, and then I went. It was nice. It was great, and also the fact that you're an influencer, so people already know you. So I was like in the space for, will I have to take a drink, do something, walk certain way, nini? But I said this is the test.
Pass.
So we're putting ourselves in that place so that we see how we will perform, and then from there we will grade ourselves and see how we perform better in the next social gathering. Because now we are sober and social. Before we were drunkards and we are just outside
vibing
too. Yani hata nauna marafiki, there's no actual conversations. It's just you're happy to be there. You're happy to be involved.
Let's learn something.
Let's be intentional about the conversations we have. The people that are around you, and also sometimes you just enjoy the fact that we are having a good time. And just be present, dance, end up early, just have a good time, have conversations, dance with someone. And if you want to dance by yourself, dance by yourself. If you want to go to the dance floor, you're not thinking about, oh my God, is someone seeing me? Am I dancing well? No. So that's what social gatherings are starting to look like for me, because I'm breaking the stereotypes of what it looked like before, that I had to be drunk and like loud and, it just had to be shots. It's now, okay, I know that my energy is enough to attract good things in this moment and have a good experience. And I think people in my presence will have a good time by feeding off my energy. And I think that's enough. So I'm changing the narrative when it comes to social gatherings for me as a way to deal with my past self.
Like handling it different. How are we responding?
Yeah. Because for me, if it was bash alcohol. If it was picnic alcohol. Alcohol. So I'm like, alcohol. So I'm like, right now, we are sober, but we can still have a good time.
Yes.
And there's so many activities that we can get up to that will still be fun, regardless of whether we are drunk or not. How are you dealing with being sober publicly?
Now, damn. That's the thing. I had to be able to understand that my energy is enough, just as it is, and I don't have to drink to be fun. That's like a acceptance. And I can, let me see what version sober can enjoy this, And at least remember, there are times when I'm just like,
for real,
I want to remember nilongesha say like, but no, let me see my POV. Yeah. But it's not easy, I wouldn't lie.
And with social anxiety, do you get social anxiety?
100%. That's another thing I had to address. I am terrible with, and I noticed this in 2020. I am terrified of meeting people. Even sometimes, like, I would panic, like I have to meet someone and I panic and pre-plan and all that. I'm learning to now just let go kidogo, relax, stay at peace, relax yourself.
And I think because we paint the picture of what the interaction would look like.
umejeka
Yeah,
expectations.
umesema by the way wataniuliza jua nini bacha nikae home.
Hapana, nimeka uncomfortable. Sabit uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. What if it's just a sit down?
Yeah.
Even if it's your idol, like sometimes when I was going on live TV, I'm like anxious, babes, like, and I'm just like, what if it's just a normal conversation?
Yeah. Like this one. It's
Yeah.
really normal. Like we're just having a good time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So working that social anxiety naikata.
So like when you envision Chebet in the future, what does the next like 5 years look like for you?
Hey, I always hate this question, but then it's good to have a picture.
Yes.
I want confidence. I want to be a confident woman and not expect or want or need external validation. That's a disease.
It is. It's a chokehold. It's a chain that needs to be broken. Especially once you get into like the influencer space, because in the beginning we are creating because we love creating. Then we get the numbers and we're creating for the people watching. And
that the boost of guys saying you're doing great.
At more of this show, we got to like, I know this. Yeah, so external validation, to be honest, I think it's holding us on a chokehold. And I think even outside of us being influencers, I think even social media itself has created the expectation of perfection. And you want the internet to love you.
Why so?
More than you love yourself.
And I want to let go of that thing of wanting people to like me. Yeah.
You come as you are.
Yeah.
We'll adjust.
Yeah.
Ukisema leo you're going Baldi Rono, we'll adjust.
And people how many people have scrutinized Beyonce for the moves she
makes? Is she not making music?
They still love
World
her.
tour.
They're buying.
And they're buying. And she's making sold out tours in huge ass arenas. And she's still doing her thing.
Women.
Na tunasikia, we've had all manner of things about the Jay-Z Beyonce relationship, but still bado tunanunua hizo tickets. Sasa wataongea usiku watalala.
Na watalala.
Na kesho imagine someone else to do something chaotic more than you.
That's another thing. Wazimu iko kila mahali.
Kila mtu ako na level of crazy. Sasa leo unafanya fuck you bloody, kesho mtu mwingine atasema we are pro nudity. I don't know kufanya protest kama coach, and that will be the next topic of discussion. I always believe that yes wataongea, but wallahi usiku watalala. And then the next day someone else will do something else that will catch the attention of people on social media.
And you won't matter even now.
And you will not matter.
So why depress yourself? Ati worry.
Na sasa wako depressed for 3 days.
No one cares anymore.
For real, no one cares.
Yeah.
And I think for me it is, I don't want to die and then I go to heaven and God said, you know, you've really focused on the wrong things. Let me show you what it would have looked like.
Round 2.
Please resurrect. I will genuinely speak of your goodness and mercies, because you will see that there's so much more that you could have tapped into if you just, silence the naysayers, because they will always be there. They will always have something to say. You will, today uko na fringe, kesho you done, that's I don't know ni nani amejeka nini wig ya blonde, who does she think there is always something this internet will say.
So unserious.
Yani because kuna wengine wamekaa na hata saa zingine wanasemanga ni bedsitter, but there are people who also did in their mansions, they've opened their businesses, they're successful, they're idle because their businesses are making money for them, which is very rare, but you can find that any extremes of people are interested in knowing what is happening in your life. Why? Because we put ourselves in that space. But we can also control what you consume from it. Which is why for the longest time, I think for the past maybe 1.5, maybe 2 months, I've had my Instagram notifications off.
Oh, they were always off.
And that's nila off, yani siende kuangalia in real time ati na refresh. Like it's off, I posted a picture and takuja dangalia jioni.
Yeah.
Kama umenitusi msema nini? Ni sawa. It will not ruin how my day will go.
Or affect my mood.
Yeah. Because of an opinion that you have. And also to realize and make peace with the fact that everyone is entitled to an opinion. So even me, there are things that I'm not in agreement with. Na sasa huyo mtu ataendelea na biashara yake because of me.
They're still alive.
Yeah. They're doing well. And they're moving on with their lives. Regardless of whether I like it or I don't. Yeah. You've talked about alcohol addiction.
Yeah.
How did you know it was an addiction?
Okay. I was doing it a bit too much.
Yeah.
Najua nilikuwa na overdo. And when it began to creep into my relationships, my money, even the feeling of confusion, chaos, like around alcohol, it wasn't having fun. I wasn't having fun. It's figured up when it stopped being about fun a long time ago, and to escape. Na me, I'm not doing it anymore. You're
done with escapism.
No.
Yeah. And like you mentioned going to rehab.
Yeah.
I think I recently went to Chiromo. I was diagnosed with clinical depression and anxiety. I got medication. And then after a few sessions, after maybe a month of medication and I came back, I felt like I was almost having like a relapse of sorts, like a slump in my mental health. And she suggested like admission. Hey friend, Irene.
God is a God of deliverance.
Hallelujah. Then the church says amen. I was like, woo, woo. You cannot admit me, Chobi.
Yeah.
I don't know what is the stigma around admission and actually just being in a space where you're receiving the help that you need. I don't know why that exists, but also how did you deal with that? And were people around you aware? Did you share about it? And if you didn't, because I don't think you mentioned being in rehab up until recently, what is your thought process about the opinions of people, or just generally where were you mentally as the admission process was going on?
I think the first time there's an acceptance issue, you know, because even you're like, where's in admin? I don't need this, guys. Okay, but I don't need you. This is just a phase.
I promise you.
Calm down.
I'm just on a period. Is it even the periods, Bola? PMS?
So yeah, the first time I struggled to accept, and then when I realized that maybe it could help and it could make me a better person, I had to accept it, and I did. And I took, and also like, I don't think it's a full
acceptance.
No, I don't think it's a full treatment plan. I don't think it works because people often relapse. I took it upon myself to say this is the last time I'm hungover. Bro, I was sick. Like, you know, drinking and you're frail, aukuli, unakonda, hapo ni wangu. Yo,
because the KFC be hitting.
You know?
Yeah.
So like, I just saw and no one talks about the anxiety of an hangover. It's you're actually distorted.
Anxiety is bad, friend.
You're distorted kabisa.
And that's the worst of thoughts go through your mind. Like after a night out, na jana ulikuwa ume sherehe. Inaenda inashika. Like in the next day. Fuck.
Yeah.
Why did I do that?
And there's a point where you're drinking, you lose yourself. Kiasi.
And usually no.
Yeah.
So like I think at some point, just before like I stopped drinking, I used to know nikikunywa hii shot.
Nivo.
Fuck, here we go again. So like there are times you know, but you still go ahead and do it because you're trying to please those ones around you. It's always
how
that.
Sad.
Jikila mtu anakunywa wewe ndio unataka kunywa pia. You know.
And you know, I won't lie, like over the weekend I kind of slipped. And I realized it wasn't worth it because something deeper even happened. And I was like, this is why, babe, we even took the distance.
Yeah.
You know?
This is why we didn't do it.
Then the forgiveness had to come in.
Yeah.
And the better choices now.
Yeah. And you extend grace to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because also this is a journey you've never been in before. It's the first time.
And now the thing is, you have to commit.
Yeah.
It's this or the other. And
once
you make an agreement, this in the spiritual world,
imeshaenda. Friend.
Imeshaenda.
Utasumbuliwa mbaya.
You took that shot, you're already gone.
Discombobulated.
I agree.
Ulikuwa unamaliza chrome gin. Lakini sahi shot moja. Hey, natatemeka.
I taken a big break. Then I just
sioni. So I think to be honest, sobriety, mom. It's tough, but also like I said, it's a muscle that you're exercising. So you extend yourself grace for like once you slept once.
Yeah.
Sasa mama ukisleep mara ya pili, even the disappointment that you'll have towards yourself will even be more heavier to carry, and you'd be like, I don't want to experience this again. So tuachane nayo, which is why by the time I know, by the third time I'm just like cry chero jeshimu.
Yes.
And we just move on with it.
Damn.
Now what is the plan?
Oh yeah, so the 5 years also I'm seeing myself like, babes, I really want remember like the zeal I had at my I have to let go of her.
Yeah.
But I want to own a TV show like how Isari did it, and just stand on business and just release there, you know.
Yeah. Who actress?
And I said, siko pabaya script writing by the way. Yeah.
Uko pazuri sana.
Like, I need to
and you can even sell the
muscle.
scripts to these shows. That's another avenue for you to make money. But you need to start.
I need to be. And you know the thing is, another thing is God will always give you the people to support you and
always.
the opportunities.
The minute you get serious.
God is just like,
miraculously.
Kidogo
tu gym once.
Just walk with faith. And another, like, it doesn't matter what I'm trying to tell myself. It doesn't matter like if you don't have the resources, you don't unafikira kulipa production, just have the idea.
God, and write it down.
Envision.
Make it plain. and make it known. So I believe in writing things. I genuinely believe in writing things. Recently, I had a therapy session where she told me to have 3 different books. One for prayer, one for my mental health and like a journal dump, and then another one for goals. And she told me in all 3 forms, because you've written it down and made it known to God, all those things are going to come to pass and you will come back and read them. And she said you need to envision that these are things that and memories you're creating to look back on. We're creating a story. She said envision your life like a movie. So we're in the beginning stages of something. How does the end goal look like? You write it down. Then we're now working backwards to see now how we can be able to achieve based on like what type of woman will you be in that position, in the CEO position. And you start dressing like that. How does she talk to people? You start talking like that. How does she do her makeup? You start doing her makeup like that. What type of people does she associate herself with? You start associating herself. And shoot your short friendships as well. I've realized that we assume that these things are just going to come to us. But sometimes you need to shoot your shot.
Love is work.
You need to put yourself in that position and literally dream and tell everyone about your dream. Unasemanga, don't talk about it until it's... But be allowed. Because for me, I think when you talk about... don't say things until they've happened. I believe that. I believe in the evil eye. I do. But I also believe in the fact that God has more power than the evil eye. Okay. So regardless of the fact that anyone will know of my dream, which is maybe, for instance, having a makeup line one day. Sasa mutafanya nini?
Mutadu? Na kama ishaandikwa.
It's going to happen anyway. So now that you know, it is for me to work against whatever you believe and want to project towards me. So that I can still steer the course regardless of how difficult it is going to be. Because if I see it, that's all that matters.
And as long, if I assume, it just can.
It can.
Yeah.
That's it. Because ulisema uta lose weight. So will lose weight.
Oh, yeah.
Na si may happen. What walisema,
there's a scary time, like, wait before I, like, change my life. The scary time I just write things, as you're saying, and they happen, bro.
Sasa si unajua.
I remember I wrote even, like, meeting Kendrick, and that's the time he was like, I want to come to Rwanda. Insane, you know, like, I don't know. I think God is crazy. I think God is really crazy.
Write things down. I feel like you should genuinely write things down. How are you showing love to yourself right now?
Hey, you took the gun. Wow. Patience with thyself, and that one, in everything. Like, this didn't work out, it's fine. You'll be fine. Obviously, positive self-talk, counterattacking those negative. I don't even give it a second. No matter what's happening, God is in control. I always remind myself, God is in control. You're better than this. You'll thrive. You've gone through worse. Yeah.
How could Eddie?
Uko hapa, and you're here for a reason. So, you know. Yeah. Another thing is, the entrepreneur vibe. I want to be a business owner. I already am, but like to escalate it, kabisa.
We need to make it big. Yeah. Like we need to have a space, we need to have a production, we need to have a team, we need to have people employed, we need to have a business name certificate, tunalipa license fee to the government of Kenya. That's how serious we need to be very serious like that. That's not what business, even for me, that's where I'm venturing into. I'm like, yes, we've been influencers and we've been in a business for this long, but to register something of your own child and your own baby and giving it a space or a name, a business name, having a domain. That is where I want us to head to.
A child.
Yeah.
A child, yeah.
And I read somewhere that the Estee Lauder, I was listening to the founder's episode on Estee Lauder, and she said that before you get into business, you need to consider it like a marriage.
You can't leave.
You can't leave. There's no divorce. So are you ready to go through the ups and downs for this thing? Are you ready to have broke days? Are you ready to be disappointed? Are you ready for the days that you will not like the business? But you'll have to show up for it. Yeah, that's what marriage is. Because if you're not ready to be in absolute communion with your business, then you're not ready for business.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So I think I'm starting to open my mind to what business looks like by getting the right financial information, listening to the right podcast, talking to other entrepreneurs to see what kwa ground.
Opening the mind.
Msidanganye kwa ground kukwaje.
Don't say
kwa ground kukwaje nitaweza na kweli
the boss lady lakini
atunalakula indomie na chumvi friend entrepreneur you know So it's like I want to know those things so I can also learn from the mistakes of other entrepreneurs. I feel like that would put us in a better place because also the information is there for us to consume it.
Imagine we're lazy. And let's be real. Humans, I feel like to some extent, we are so ungrateful.
And we are lazy, entitled.
Babes, you have health. Do you know health is so expensive?
Very.
You have that. You have the willpower. You have the resources.
Hata mikono tu na miguu peke yake baraka.
Wake up.
You can do the stretch. You can go to the gym.
Wake up. Yeah.
You are aware. Your mind is operating. You know, you can speak, you can think, you can see.
You can call in. It can be done.
Yeah. We have all the resources. I think there's just excuses we're making.
Yeah.
There's
no storms to go through. These are distractions.
Exactly. And the devil will come in that form.
Let's do what we need to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is a nice conversation. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel happy. Yeah. This was a therapy session, actually.
So this will be 3-5?
Just speak with.
Please, you can send my till number. But we end our episodes with like 2 questions. What are you growing through? And what are you glowing through? When it comes to growing, I think the areas that you're still finding peace with and balance with, you're still working on, you've not found, you know, the center really. And then things that you're glowing in are things that you feel like you've, you know, nailed it in regards to like finding balance and knowing the systems are working, like that.
I can ask the same for you, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand?
No, sister.
Damn.
The pressure is getting worse.
The cameras. So, what I'm growing through, I think accepting situations for what they are. I've struggled with letting go. And as you said, you have to own the person you want to be. Who is she? And I keep holding on to these straps that they're gone.
To be honest, fuck that chick.
They're gone.
Achana na udem. Achana na ye kabisa. Ashaenda yu meenda.
The friend she had, the
how she dressed,
making,
everything.
She's gone.
She's gone. She's buried.
I'm here now.
And this is the beginning. So imagine if this is the bare minimum. Imagine if this Debbie is the bare minimum. Ndo kwanza. Imagine where we're going.
And I think that's why we get disappointed in ourselves. Because we're like, imagine where you could be right now, but you want to do this.
Because we're assuming the past version of ourselves is the bare minimum, and this is now the top.
Nah.
But in contrary, this is the bare minimum. This version of us right now is a bare minimum. Whatever we're building on top of this, hey, atoezana kweli.
So yeah, and glowing, what I think I've gotten the hang of, the self-talk is improving. You know, especially someone with depression, see, right? You know those thoughts. You know those thoughts.
It gets really bad.
And there's a definitely a difference. There's a more light that I put in myself. And discipline. Babes, I've become that babe.
You have.
Yeah.
You have.
And though I slipped kidogo, I have to give myself credit.
Is sexy, friend.
You know?
Discipline is sexy.
It is.
In a bamba.
It attracts.
It's
so.
We're getting the men that we want
you
because
know?
discipline is sexy. We're getting the jobs that we want because discipline is sexy. We're getting the opportunities that we want because discipline is sexy. And when you get, you know, the gym is the hardest thing, ma'am. Now,
why didn't you guys say this thing, bana? Hey.
The gym is hard.
Hey.
Na kama umefanya hiyo. These are the things.
Nothing.
Same thing. When you think about the resilience that you need when you're taking that last rep, and you think about the resilience that is applied when you're leaving a toxic relationship and you're like, I'll apply the same thing. Just this one last stretch. And I think we can get out of it. The fact that you keep on going, you'll say, I'll keep writing this proposal. The discipline of going every day to the gym. It's the discipline of chasing this dream every day. So you have to apply. I think the thing is that we separate not knowing that everything that we have is stemmed from the relationship we have with self.
It's connected.
It is connected. So if you've committed to this, then it shows you that you can commit to anything and achieve it. So if you can do it with 75 Hard, you can do it to the talk show. You can do it to the podcast.
The mental.
Everything. Yeah. So you just need copy pasting. You copy paste. You said, kama nilijaribu nikamka nikasema, then leo pia. Same thing. You're doing well.
So I want to know you. What are you growing through and what are you glowing through?
I think I am glowing through my assertiveness. Glowing. I think I'm glowing there. That department. Kuna venye inanibamba sana. Because I'm able to now say things for what they are. But I'm also able to stand up for myself in the same breath. I'm able to just stick to my word. If I say I'm going to do something,
I'm going to do it.
And
imagine no.
I can't come. You know, I have gym in the morning at 5. Yeah. So maybe look for another day that is applicable to my schedule. And we'll meet. Yes.
Giving lawyer.
Mazita, friend. So it's things like that. I think I'm glowing through that. I'm really, really glowing in my connections, in my friendships, my relationships, even just down to my house manager. I feel like we have such a great relationship. Like even today when we were panicking about the steamer, she was just like, "Kwani ni nini wewe? Si stories steamers that come." And I like that. I want us to be safe. I want us to be safe with each other. I want us to know that this is also her home. And I think that is working. I'm able to now, I'm trying to copy paste the love and the grace and the, consistency that I have in my friendships, in other aspects of my life and in other connections that I have. That if I've said I'm going to do something for someone, then I'm going to do it for them. So I think I'm glowing through that. I'm growing through letting go of societal norms and expectations. I think in this season of my life, it is from my family, it is just the expectation of marriage and what that looks like and the bare minimum and the struggle mentality, the complaining, intonations of things. Every single day we are complaining. I think I'm growing through that, just letting go of what that looks like for them and realizing that I can also have a different reality. I don't necessarily have to agree with the terms that my parents agreed on when they were getting married, when they were getting their jobs, when they were looking for their career paths. It is knowing that I can still love my parents, I can still love my family, I can still love the people around me whilst having differing opinions. So I'm still finding balance with that, because I think there's a little bit of people pleasing that is still creeping in there. Tutaondoa, yeah. So I think that's what I'm trying to deal with. I'm also growing through accepting that I'm deserving of love, and I think we're getting to a good space with that, allowing myself to be celebrated, allowing myself to, have a man smitten over you. So like Ochini got to like and
when you're not healed, it feels cringe.
But now when I am, I'm like, wow, so we can both be down bad. It's nice
and it's okay.
So I'm allowing myself to have that reality, and also to know what adult relationships genuinely look like, and to allow myself to just have those difficult conversations as well with whoever I'm seeing, or like if there's a prospective relationship, is to genuinely get down to the nitty-gritties and not be uncomfortable about it, or not projecting the systems or the norms that have been placed in me by my parents and my family in this situation, to allowing myself to create our own reality based on what I want now and what he wants now. So we're working on that.
I love that. To love.
Yeah. It's
nice.
So where can we find you, Chomi?
Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
We're not going to do that.
I'm everywhere.
I am that I am. Put that on a t-shirt, Chomi.
Hey, manze. You can find me on, but then I'm coming back on YouTube.
Please.
But honestly, you know what? I'll do it.
Yeah. And I'll keep you accountable.
Thank you. I would love that. Ronoh on all platforms. Debbie Ronoh on TikTok, YouTube. Yeah, Chebet Ronoh. Yeah.
And there's Ronoh with a H at the end.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Solid. Thank you so much for coming to me.
Thank you for having me.
I loved this so much.
Thanks.
I did.
I love you too.
Sisters. I love you as well.
I can't wait till you get engaged. I'm waiting.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Sorry guys. Tetemesha kidogo sister.
Kama familia.
Hapo umenishtua kidogo. But thank you so much for watching, guys. This has been such an amazing episode. If you did like it, please don't forget to like, subscribe, to follow us on all social media platforms, and to listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And we will see you on the next one. Mwah!
Bye.
Bye.